What would you do if your lover did the unspeakable, the unthinkable? They went out one night when they wasn't supposed to be doing and came back home with something that they wasn't supposed to have and gave it to you. So today on Ask an Aquarius, we're going to have a little chat about that because an Aquarius hit me up and told me that she stepped out on her boyfriend. Okay. And she got a STI, I think it's called now, which is basically a infection that happens when you're intimate with someone. And she gave it to her boyfriend. So now the Aquarius and the boyfriend are really having a hard time. They live together, and he left when he first found out. He's been back and forth, and she wants me to tell you, her and you and everyone, if this can be saved. So we're going to talk about this. I'm going to do the introduction first, and then we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to tell you my opinion, and then I'm dying to hear y'all opinion about this one. All right, guys, so I'm Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who might like it too. Also, if you have time, please drop us a positive comment in the comment section and stick around till the video is over, because at the end, I'm going to read and respond to other people's comments. And one of them could even be yours. I picked them at random. Also, if you'd like to get a reading done, please email me. And all of my other information is underneath this video in case you want to hit me up on social media or get some Ask an Aquarius merchandise, or give me a gift from my Amazon wish list, or any of those kind of things. All that is underneath this video. All right, so let's talk about Miss Aquarius. All right, so homegirl, the impression that I got from her was that she doesn't believe in monogamy, but she really didn't communicate this to her boyfriend. Okay. They've been seeing each other for over 3 years, but they've only been living together for about 10 months. Now, the whole time they've been together, she has been entertaining other gentlemen and some women, but mostly gentlemen. And really didn't think much of it. Like, didn't really think it was a big deal. She said to me, everybody cheats, so I didn't really think much of it, you know? And I'm sitting there like, this karma's gonna smack you up, baby. So she didn't tell him that she wasn't monogamous. She figured that everybody cheats. It wasn't a big deal. So she kept doing her. And when they weren't living together, I think it was a lot easier for her to be able to do this. And then since they've started to live together, she said that she still stepped out, but she wasn't stepping out as often. Well, about 3 weeks ago, she had a encounter with one of her old entanglements. This was a guy that she basically has been sleeping with off and on ever since she was a teenager. They never really stopped sleeping with each other. Well, he had I don't want to say it on YouTube because they don't like when we talk about stuff like this, but he had something that was transmitted during a time of intimacy with his other lover. Okay, so he got one of these, curable things from his other lover and gave it to the Aquarius. Now, the Aquarius didn't have any symptoms, so she didn't know about it. Well, she goes home and she's sleeping with her live-in boyfriend, her real boyfriend, and he got whatever it was. So when he got it, he came directly to her because he hadn't been with anybody else. And they've been together long enough that if she or he had it before the relationship started, it more than likely would have come up medically by now. So he went to her like, yo, what's up? Like, what did you do? And she was like, I didn't do nothing. You probably did da da da. And she tried to play it off by blaming it on him. This was her first mistake. Now, mind you, she's an Aquarius and he's a Capricorn. So he was not trying to hear it. He was like, I am not stupid. I am on to you, boo boo. So she tried to blame it on him and saying, you probably did XYZ. And because he really didn't, he knew it was her. So she went to the doctor because, mind you, she didn't have any symptoms and, nothing had occurred yet. She went to the doctor and, yeah, she had it. And he was the one that had the symptoms. So she tried to play it off even after going to the doctor, like, oh, you probably gave this to me. Why I don't have symptoms and you do, blah, blah, blah. But the truth is that a lot of times men do have symptoms a lot quicker than women. It's not all the time, but it does happen sometimes. So basically, she gave it to him. His symptoms came up first, and then she tried to play it off. So she tried to play it off for a little while, a couple days, didn't work. And so now he left, they fought, he broke the window. I mean, it's been crazy. He didn't hit her or anything like that, but he's been very upset about it. It's been some arguments. It's been some, some back and forth. He left for a little bit, came back. They're trying to work through it. It's been very turbulent. So she wants me to tell her, what do I think about the situation, and do I think that they can work through it? And my thing about it is that, to be honest with you, I have heard about this before. This is not the first time somebody has had this happen, male or female. And to be honest with you, I've heard it mostly from men. But it happens, I've even had women come to me and tell me that they got pregnant from an encounter with someone else and they knew it wasn't, their boyfriend or their husband's. So, I mean, these kind of things happen, And so what I think about it is that, number one, I think they have to deal with each other. They have to work with each other. Because the first question becomes, do we want to keep seeing each other? They live together. He's very angry. His trust is broken. He doesn't believe her. She did tell him, she stopped trying to lie eventually, but his trust was already broken by the time she finally just told him, yeah, I did step out. And that's when the window got broken because he got angry, punched the window, blah, blah, blah. So my thing is this. I feel like they can get through this if they want to. If they want to get through this infidelity, you can get really through anything as a couple if you want to work on it. Now, me personally, I would not work on this. If somebody gave me anything like this, I would not keep seeing them, because the next time it could be something uncurable. So I need to go. Sorry, but I would have packed my stuff and left immediately. It wouldn't have been no broke window. It would have been a U-Haul because I would have got out of there. It's no way in God's green earth I would touch her with a 10-foot pole ever again. Not because this happened, but because you went out there, you was unfaithful, tried to blame it on me. I mean, like, this whole thing is out of pocket. So me, I would pack up and leave. If he's still there and y'all still going back and forth, that means there's still some hope. So I would sit down with him, and if it was me, I would try to go to a couples therapy session. A couples therapy sessions could be very helpful with the therapist or with a pastor or a spiritual advisor. It could be extremely helpful. And they could possibly work through this because, like I said, I've seen people make it over this and keep on going. Not me, but others, okay? The other thing that has to happen here is, if the Aquarius really wants this relationship to work, she's going to have to stop messing around. She's going to have to really decide, yo, do you want to commit to this relationship? Because it doesn't make any sense to do all of the work to fix the relationship if you're going to step back out and God knows what you're coming back home with next time. That doesn't make sense. So what I told her was, if you really want to be in this relationship, you need to make a decision about if you're going to be monogamous, because he wants monogamy. Okay, that's his decision. So if she wants it too and she wants to be with him, then she needs to stop lying about it and go ahead and do it. If she can't do it and that's just not what she wants to do, then cut homeboy loose and let him find a woman that will give him what he wants. Because there's lots of women out there who want a monogamous relationship. And if that's what he wants, he can go find one of them. Maybe she needs to find somebody who's polyamorous or find somebody who wants an open relationship. And that could be more suited for her. Likewise, I really believe that she needs to be careful. She needs to be a lot more careful. You can have all the sex you want. I'm not the kind of person that tells people, oh, be a prude, don't ever have sex. I don't tell people that. I tell people if you're going to be sexually active, be smart about it. Make sure you got, what you need. You need some type. Me personally, some people will say, oh, you just need birth control. In this day and age, with all this stuff that's going around, you really need a barrier. You need a barrier. You need a female condom or a male condom. You need a barrier between you and that person. Period, point blank. If you're going to be having sex, you need to be using a barrier. If you're trying to get pregnant, then you need to be having sex with that one person that you're trying to get pregnant by. But if you're just seeing people, or if you're poly or whatever the case is, and you don't know who's doing what, then you need to protect yourself. Because like I said before, she could have brought home something uncurable. She could have brought home hepatitis, HPV, HIV. There's so many things, so many letters. Pick a letter, and every year there's something new added to the list. When I was younger, they called them STDs. Now they're STDs or STIs. Like, it's more letters getting added on as the terminologies move on. So I say be really careful. And I say this to anybody who's sexually active. I don't care what you're doing out there in the streets. Be very careful, because people will have something and not tell you. In this case, he didn't even know. The guy that she got it from didn't even know. And he did tell her, but he did not know. So my thing is that, okay, if you're out there and you know that you're not being exclusive, you should make sure that you're using a barrier when you're, having an encounter. Safe, they call it safe sex. It's not 100%. We all know that, but it is helpful. So this is my thing. So I do think it could work. He's still there. So if he's still there, there's still a possibility. But if it was me, I wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't keep doing this to him, because he's not going to hang in there. Even if he hangs in there now, he's not going to keep on hanging in there. Y'all might get past this hump and you do something else, or the second or third thing, people are not going to keep on coming back to you. And the funny thing about it is that she told me she doesn't want to lose him. And I was like, why didn't you think about that before? Before you did this? I always say this to people, because they'll say to me, oh, I did something stupid, I don't want to lose so-and-so. And I'm like, didn't you realize that before you did something stupid? And I'm just like, I ain't judging her. I'm just like, dog, you have to think about these kind of things before you do them. Because I would have thought about that, and I would have been like, dang, my ex-entanglement do look real good, but I don't want to lose who I got at home. So let me just go home and see how good that person is looking, And obviously, from her saying that she doesn't want to lose him, she sees value in the relationship. So my thing is, don't treat somebody like they're not valuable if you do actually value them. Okay? So let me know in the comments section. Number 1, would you stay with the Aquarius? And number 2, do you have any comments about this particular situation? Please be kind in your comments, because she will be reading them. All right. All right. So let's go to our first positive comment. Dragon Ball DB. Hey, Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball actually, I was talking to him the other day. This is his comment. He said, you know what? After watching your videos for a while, I'm just going to go on ahead and subscribe. Yes. You literally describe us Aquarius so accurately that it always ends up bringing a smile to my face. I'm Aquarius at heart, January 27th, 2003, with a Scorpio moon sign. Okay, got some water going on there. So, first of all, I want to thank you. I feel like if I can earn your subscription, I did my job, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank all of you who have subscribed, as a matter of fact. And if you're not subscribed, please hit that red subscribe button, okay? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I like earning things. It makes me feel like I've done a good job. I've accomplished something. And the next one is from Airiness A Rhino. I hope I said that right. I'm loyal or stuck, I guess. I'm loyal to brands, people, but not music. But I will experiment, explore until I find the person, seller, brand I connect. Done. I'll be there forever supporting it and improving it until something triggers me to change. I feel you on that. I'm like that too with brands. Like, for example, Samsung. I always buy a Samsung phone. Every time I get a phone, I get a Samsung phone. And one of my friends was like, "Oh, you should try this brand. You should try that brand." People always got different brands. The iPhone comes up a lot. And I'm like, I'm not paying $1,000 for that phone. No. Samsung has been good to me, and I'm sticking with Samsung. So if a company is good to me, I will stick with them. Definitely. If a person is good to me, I'll stick with them. Even if they irk me, if they're good to me, I will stick with them. I think that loyalty is important. And they call it stuck. They say Aquarius are always stuck. But I think it is loyalty, definitely. I think loyalty is a better word for it than stuck. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.